Today, I'm going to be working on a 2002 MR2 Spyder.
The truth.
Alright, so today we're going to be installing some strut tower bars on the MR2. I've got them for the front and the rear, so let's get them out of the box. Alright, it's actually a heck of a story of me getting these parts. So they shipped over just fine, but when UPS tried to deliver them, they said they needed a signature. Not a problem. I've had this kind of stuff before. They send it to one of the locations where you can just pick it up at the store. Well, apparently this time they won't do that, and they only give you 3 attempts to sign, and then they get shipped back to the sender. So that means these would go back to Japan if I didn't get these parts today. So, heck of a headache, but I did get them, so let's get them on the car. Alright, let's get this front strut tower bar opened up and take a look at how good it looks. That is definitely a thing of beauty. Again, that's the front strut tower bar. It does come with some installation instructions all in Japanese, but it's really not hard to figure out with a strut tower bar. You just kind of mount it where the top of the coilovers or your struts are. And yeah. But let's get the rear one opened up and take a look at that one too. This is the part number for the front strut tower bar. I'll put the link for it down in the description. This is the part number for the rear strut tower bar. I'll also link this one down in the description below. This box did get damaged a little bit. Hopefully it didn't hurt the strut tower bar at all. You can see how nice this thing looks already. It definitely looks really nice. I do like it a lot. It's a lot more lightweight than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot heavier. So that does help out a lot. But I love how it's got the cross brace and then the X or Y or whatever you want to call it. The triangle shape instead of just the stock one where it's just the small little X bar going across. Alright, let's get both of these on the car real quick. Again, that's your front one and your rear one. They should add a lot more stability across the top of the strut towers. And this one also mounts the center point in the body as well. So, yeah, let's get them on the car. Now to do the front strut tower bar, we're going to have to pop the frunk or the hood, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I have removed the frunk out of my car, but if you still had yours in, it shouldn't be an issue. The only issue might be is having that cover on still, or the frunk lid itself may not be able to open with that new strut tower on. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with the front here. I'm going to be removing these 3 bolts on each side for the strut tower. They are a 12mm. You do want to do this while the car is on the ground, not up in the air. Because if it is up in the air and you take these 3 bolts out, your whole shock or coilover, whatever you have, is going to fall straight through. And it'll be a bad day. With it sitting on the ground, it keeps the pressure up, so these 3 bolts are going to stay right in place. But let's go ahead and take them off really quick. Alright, now let's go ahead and get our new strut tower bar in place. Now, in all honesty, I don't know if it goes this way or if it goes this way. You see which way this is facing. I'm thinking it's going to go this way. I'm going to research it really quick. Hold on just a sec. You'll find out here in just a moment. Alright, so it's good to have instructions, even if they are in Japanese. Does actually say front in English right here, but it shows that the loops go towards the, I guess, towards the passengers of the car, and, you know, the bar goes towards the front of the car. I did look it up online. It shows this way as well, so we're going to go with this way. Now mine almost fit perfectly. I'm going to loosen this side up just a little bit. It's an 8mm Allen and a 17mm socket. Oh, goodness. There it goes. Now I'm just going to hand tight my 6 bolts on here and then snug up this guy as well with just my hands, and then we'll go back through and hit it with an impact gun and a ratchet.
Is the king.
Alright, I'm going to wipe it down with a rag, just get all my nasty fingerprints off this thing, and I'll show you what it looks like here in just a second. Alright, the installation of this thing actually went really well. Hopefully the back goes just as smoothly as the front did, but I'm super impressed with the look of this thing. It really stands out in the front engine bay here. Well, not engine bay, the front area. So used to traditional cars with the engine up front. But yeah, it really pops. It gives it more of a curb appeal, and hopefully it improves on handling. We'll test that out here. Probably tomorrow. It's getting a little late tonight. That's why I'm trying to rush this. I'm also going to a car vent tomorrow. So hopefully this really stands out at the car vent. You can see my Cusco bar down there. So yeah, let's go install the rear really quick. Now to do the rear strut tower bar, we're going to need to pop our trunk. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and get this old one off the car. Now all these bolts, the 2 here, the 3, and the 3 over there, they're all 14mm here on the rear. Just like in the front, you want to do this while the car's on the ground. Because again, if you try and do this when the car is lifted, and you want to bolt these 3, it's going to drop your shock straight through the openings there. And you don't want that to happen. So just go ahead and do this while it's on the ground. So let's zip all these off real quick. And just like that, our old one is off. Let's get the new one in here. Well, I've already run into my first issue. So the oil catch cans that I have right down here, the bracket I had put onto this bar, what I might have to do is slip it up underneath this bar here and bolt it in that way. Because right now, I don't know how well you can tell, but it's getting in the way. So let's get the oil catch can off there, and then we're going to try and slip it on afterwards. Alright, looks like I'm going to have to loosen up these 3 hinges on the strut tower bar just to get it to fit in there a little bit better. It's just an Allen key on one side and a nut on the other. Now I did have the same issue over here with this little grounding wire. So I just removed it. I'll run it in between the base and the strut tower. But in case you're needing to loosen yours up too, it is an 8mm Allen and a 17mm nut on the backside. Now you don't have to take them all the way off, but just loosen them up enough where they move freely. Alright, now that they're all loose, let's try and get it on there again. Alright, now I'm just going to hand tight all my bolts onto place so they hold themselves steady. And then we'll go back, tighten them up. Then we'll go back and tighten up these 3 bolts that run through the strut tower.
Is the king.
Alright, well, I can't quite get my bracket in there just because of the angle all this is at. So I'm going to have to take out the actual strut bar, put my bracket on, and then put the strut bar back into place. Alright, now we got the catch can on, the little ground wires connected. I just hand tighted all these guys. So let's go ahead and get them actually tight. I'm probably going to hit it with my impact gun and then go back through with a ratchet and make sure everything's good and snug. As you saw, I did have to use my wrench on this one just because it was too tight for my ratchet between the battery bar and that nut right there. But either way, got them all on. I'm going to wipe this thing off, just make it look nice and shiny. You'll see what it looks like here in just a second. Now, just like the front, this one looks a heck of a lot better in the engine bay. It really gives it a good pop of color. I'm not a huge fan of the gold. I'd rather it be black or something like that, but I mean, that's always a problem we can solve another day. But for now, I like it. It really stands out. And like I mentioned earlier in the video as well, I'm going to a car event tomorrow morning. I don't know if I'll be recording anything, but we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted some a little more appeal in the engine bay, just to grab a bit more attention. It's kind of hard for a car made after in the 2000s to really stand out against, you know, a bunch of Ferraris and stuff like that are always going to these car events. But, you know, it is what it is. I like my little car. It's a total blast and it's a riot to drive. These should help stiffen it up a whole lot. I've got a few more things coming for this car. I've got a few things coming over the winter as well, big projects. So plenty of videos to come on this car. Forced induction should be coming next year. And yeah, go from there. I'm on my way to Cars and Coffee this morning, and I figure it's a good time to test those new strut tower bars and see how well they handle. Obviously, got to get the Scion out of the way, so let's get that. Now, as of me recording this, I obviously haven't cleaned it out yet, but I think me cleaning the interior is a previous video to the one I'm posting now. It's just kind of the weird order they come out in sometimes. And, of course, it's too weak. Alright, I gotta jump it. Alright, I got it hooked up to the Mazda right over there. There she goes. Alright, now we can move it and get the Spyder out of the garage. Now, so far, it feels pretty stiff. I think the underbracing actually did more to add to the stiffness than the strut tower bars do. So, if I were to do one of them all over again, I'd probably go for the front and rear bracing, like on the underside, versus the strut tower bars or even that breastplate that I did as well. Now, all of them in combination, they are making the car pretty damn stiff. It definitely responds a lot better to steering inputs too. It handles really well. So I can't complain about the handling, but again, I think the front and rear underbrace did more than anything else for this car. Anyway, on my way to a car show right now, Cars and Coffee, or I guess it's more of a car event. So I'm gonna go have fun with that. I don't think I'm gonna do a recording on that one today, but I'll catch up with you guys when I get back to the house. Alright, I'm back from Cars and Coffee. It was pretty fun out there, kind of hot, but not terrible. But I hope this video helped. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll try and answer them as soon as I can. If you liked any of the background music in this video, please check out the artist's SoundCloud. Link is in the description.